This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
This is comics illustrator Ron Friends, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
There's a thin line between heroism and madness.
Here the line fades to nothing at all.
This is a world of capes and lunatics.
And nothing is off limits.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Capes and Lunatics, episode 170, where we cover every issue that ends in 7-0. No, we're back to normal. Normal for us. I am Phil, joining me as always. Either his glass is very big or he's as small as a mug of beer. It is
Charlie, the Professor Esser. Let's hear it for Pin Particles.
And she who drinks in darkness, the star of the latest episode of Into the Night and Noon Night podcast. It is.
Hey y'all, it's little Big Archie fan Hellfire. What's up?
Big Archie.
Only publication worth reading.
Call her Big Archie.
I'm telling you, join the Archieverse, bro.
How about news?
They need to bring back Red Circle, man. I'm there for Red Circle.
They're probably working on it, to be honest.
I needs my fly.
Oh my. Anyway. Alright. I didn't look up a lot of topics because I figured there'd probably only be one big topic tonight. Lilith, DC Comics, go.
Put flowers on her grave. She's dead. F in the comments. F in the comments, guys. I'm done. I'm over it.
Yeah.
See you in 5 years. Six reboots later, 5 years. I'll see you.
I mean, it started, last week when, Warner's and then specifically DC were, just laying off people and... I mean, they're cutting
I get the feeling, and this is going to sound kind of funny, I get the feeling DC is very much afraid to lose money, which is a weird thing for an American corporation to be afraid of. I mean, yes, losing money is not good, but losing money is also sort of baked into the American capitalist structure.
Yeah, but do you think Big Daddy...
You have to lose money to make money?
Yeah, but I mean, if it's coming from higher up...
They've been making terrible choice after terrible choice, though. At some point, this has been in the works for about 6 months. Didn't know they were going to actually do this, right particularly now. This is, literally the worst time to do it.
Mm.
Holy crap. You couldn't wait until October?
That does
I'm just saying, they don't care about the optics. They don't care about anything.
No.
They've got upper middle management making very, just callous remarks. It's just, they don't care anymore. And it's very obvious. And it's very off-putting.
It just seems...
I just can't do it. I can't do it anymore.
It just seems very weird that they would lay off people a week or two before they're like, hey, come join us for our big online virtual...
That they didn't stream on DC Universe because... put some flowers on her grave too. She dead.
That's dead. They just announced that today. DC, I'm
gonna pour out a little liquor for the homies.
They might be.
That's good. Dogs will lick it up.
Oh, hey now. They said they might be keeping it for the comics, but yeah, all that TV and stuff is going to HBO Max. Well, except for Stargirl.
I literally called it. I was like, they should have waited for HBO Max, but no, we have to compete with Disney. Well, guess what? Your guys' infrastructure sucks. You're not vertically integrated. You're not good at anything, apparently. And it's just obvious now. Everything you did was try to play catch-up. Don't play catch-up. Do your own thing and make it good.
If I can play devil's advocate, is this
the devil doesn't need an advocate, Charlie?
Go ahead, Mephisto.
Okay, if I can be the sniveling lawyer in the room.
Okay.
Let us say that this is essentially the ripping off of the Band-Aid. That basically, AOL, actually it's not AOL Time Warner. I can't say that because they actually sold off AOL.
It's just Warner Media at this point.
No, but they actually gave up. They gave up AOL. AOL is its own thing, off doing its own content, and sucks to be them. But anyway.
You mean other than just being an email service, they do things? An email service that a lot of people... Really? Okay.
They're actually a pretty big news aggregator, and honestly, for the 40 to 50 cent, that's where you get your news. So They actually are very big in politics, believe it or not. But anyway, back to the original story. Is it possible that AT&T basically bought Warner's and basically said, "What did we buy? Why did we buy this? This is a mess." You know, we wanted those cable lines, but it's like at the end of the day, this is a bunch of content that it's like walking into my comic book collection where there's just comics all over the floor.
Oh God. You're giving me anxiety. Don't say those words.
I'm sorry, man. I'm not a collector. I'm a reader. And it's like, I read it once. It's in the vault. It's fine.
Lil, if he reads them once, he don't know where they go.
Yeah, after I read them, who knows? But anyway, that's when, Mandela gets to rewrite them for me. It's great. Mandela's a much better writer than most comic books you've ever read. But, yeah, and they came in and they said, this is a mess. And then it's like, okay, well, what are we going to do with this mess? Because Warner's was making all kinds of decisions before we got here. And for some reason, before we got here, they decided to push through a bunch of decisions instead of just like what any sane corporation would do. Because most sane corporations, when they're about to get bought out, say, okay, don't make any big moves. Let's sit. Let's just hold our value.
The way that I understand it, though, is that it wasn't really Warner's that pushed that through. AT&T, kind of knew what was going on and kind of said okay.
Oh, well, then that sucks then. Because
so it's crazy. AT&T is a pretty decently structured company outside before they did this merger. So and Warner's was okay. I mean, a lot of people are very eccentric at the top and things like that, but it wasn't like this just jar of chaos. I've just never seen such. Even when Sony was in a state of disrepair, it was not this bad.
But I get the feeling this is a lot of ripping off the Band-Aid kind of stuff. This is all, it's going to hurt now, but now we can sort of figure out what we're going to do.
Well, if you're not worried about optics, especially in the comic book biz, well, I got news for you.
I know. Again, that's the biggest thing.
That's the company's biggest thing that they need to be concerned about is public image.
That's the biggest thing that hit me this week. It's just their DC fandoms next weekend, and it's just like, oh, hey, come celebrate with us at this virtual con after we just laid off hundreds of people.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, nothing. I still don't. All I know of DC fandom is that apparently we get to walk around Titan's Tower.
It's so much more than that, Harley. It's this really big, huge, momentous thing.
It's panels.
They've just literally done a poop shower all over it.
It's just it's panels on the different shows and stuff, right, Lola?
Okay, but
yeah.
And again, it's this thing of, well, okay, and that's
think of it like whatever Disney does, whatever that E3 thing that they do. That's what this was supposed to be.
And like Lilith said, why would you do this mass layoffs and stuff a week or two before you do this big con?
Now nobody has the incentive not to spill tea, which is the only reason why I'm just waiting. I'm waiting.
Not for nothing. Again, like I said, and whosever decision it was to just blow up the company, to throw everything at the wall at once, just to, like I said, okay, I've been at companies that have been bought. I've been at companies that have just recently been bought. I've been at companies that have been in transition and looking for buyers. Every time you're in that spot, the main thing is, okay, this is what we do. We're going to do what we do. We're not going to do something new because it's going to be chaos. We don't want to inject chaos into this. We don't, it's like, the most you ever see is someone's going to say, well, let's push this bonus through. Let's push these raises through before the new bosses get in and try to...
Everybody take a vacation, quick!
Exactly. That kind of stuff, okay, I can get. But the idea that, let's launch a new service to compete with Disney, plus...
Even though we had HBO Max in the works. Yes, I know.
Yeah, and that it's not even... It's it's just DC content. It's almost assuming that Disney was just Marvel. It's like they're trying to one-up Marvel, but
somebody needs to go back to college and get their business administration.
They wanted to be there first, and it's who cares if you're there first if your interface is crap.
And more to the point, they're not competing with Marvel. This is the thing. I don't think Marvel thinks they're competing with DC. Disney is competing with all media. Marvel is one of the things. Mm. All Marvel wants to do is to be Disney's best henchman. They want that Dr. Girlfriend spot.
Nobody at Warner's understands anything, and it's very apparent. And like when they came for Dido, I didn't mind, but now I mind. Okay, now I mind. I get the saying now. I get it. I'm still not going to apologize because he needed to go. 5G was a terrible idea, and I'm glad they're not going through with that. But at the cost of everything else, I didn't want to be right at the cost of everything else.
So,
that's all that I'm
just so I understand. So now 5G. Now that they're saying this was like supposed to be the 5th generation of superheroes.
Yeah.
Golden Age, Silver Age, Bronze Age, Modern Age. Generation 5G to go
like
5G, like on your phone, guy.
The whole gimmick where someone takes over for the main hero. They were going to do that with like a lot of their heroes at once. Yeah. Oh, but Lilith, I thought I saw an article today. I don't know if it's just going to be a mini series now or an Elseworlds or something, just like a off to the side thing. But are they still printing that Luke Fox takes over as Batman thing?
I couldn't imagine they're actually going to do that. They have to hold tight to everything that's near and dear to the Bat family. And let's be honest, they don't need that controversy. The
only thing I could see is them doing Bruce Wayne and Luke Fox, so they kind of have like their Peter Parker, Miles Morales thing. Is that what they're trying to go for?
Well,
I don't know, but they just need to stop.
I don't know how old these people are.
Neither does DC, and that's okay. But I remember.
Yeah.
I know
is Dick Grayson was a teenager in the 30s. He should be as old as Bucky Barnes. That's all I'm saying. You know?
I weep for DC. Y'all know my blood ran DC blue for so long. And I can't do it anymore. I'm out. I'm taking a 5-year break like I did for Marvel when things were absolutely terrible. I will check in then. Do not ask me about DC. It is all IDW, Boom, and Archie, and any other independent comic book from here on out.
No Marvel?
Well, I do have a great IDW book to talk this week.
Ooh.
We totally do. I'm so glad. Like, I've seen nothing but positive reviews because obviously people who were interested picked it up and people who didn't. You know?
Yes.
Finally.
But I mean,
we'll get to that when we talk comics.
But I mean, Lilith, do you think DC's like ripe for like another like full on reboot again?
Oh, like I said, I'll see you in 5 years, which should be about 6 reboots by my calculation. So by then they should have it figured out.
Oh Lord,
I can't wring my hands about this anymore.
3 Jokers is going to reboot. Or are we saying 3 Jokers is going to reboot everything?
No, I'm not saying that at all. It's just that that's what they do when they're in trouble. Let's have don't call it a reboot. We're having a refresh. Or a remix. We're remixing baby.
I wouldn't mind another full reboot. Ever since like New 52, they can't admit their mistakes. They never want to say, "Oh, we don't want to do a full reboot anymore." So they try these soft
reboots. Clean. Take it back.
They saw
that's all that I'm saying.
That
was your first problem, and we've been chasing that. We've been the dog chasing our tail since 1986.
Yeah, go back to the original continuity before Crisis. Yes.
Case solved. Nobody cares. Just do it.
Can't they just do sliding time?
They should have.
They could, but they won't. So it's like, just go way back. We're going to have Barry go way back and fix that one initial problem.
I don't know if that's what they're doing because, that Dark Knight's heavy metal, or death metal, whatever it's called. That's what they're doing. It's just like, they're basically saying
this. That's not, you know what I mean? That's not really continuity, or is it?
I don't know. It's like Anti-Crisis. I don't know if they're doing stuff with all the different, so I don't know.
But no, honestly, we have literally been chasing our tail since 1986. We had 0 Hour, blah, 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 Convergence, blah, blah, blah.
Infinite Crisis, Final Crisis.
Yeah. It's like,
well, you know what it is?
Final Crisis. False advertising. I want my money back.
Let's sue them.
I think DC should have just did the Ultimates. You know, instead of just going to, they should, or literally kind of like what Marvel did twice, because that's the thing is, like, I think Marvel did what DC did, except that Marvel said, okay, well, let's just put that in a pocket dimension.
And then bring it in later when it's super popular.
Yeah, once it works, we'll say, oh, this is it.
Well, you kill off what they don't like in that universe and bring over what they do like, Mouse.
Exactly. Well, exactly. Not for nothing. Yes. It's like, so what worked? Okay, that stuff worked. Bring it over. Okay, nothing else worked.
DC has a hard time with that. Like that, if you try to please everybody, you end up pleasing no one, and this is what has happened. Like, make a plan, stick to the plan. Watch the plane go up in flames. I don't know.
Thank you, Snart. Anyway, but yeah, no, I mean, like Lilith was mentioned, the original Crisis on Infinite Earths. After that, they really shot themselves in the foot because they were like, "There's only one timeline. There's no alternate universes."
And then slowly but surely,
it took them like maybe 15 years, but yeah, then they brought back the multiverse. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it's stupid to say there's only one universe. Because I mean, I am as Newtonian of a guy as you're ever going to meet. I actually think there's probably multiple universes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what they're exactly like, but I'm going to say, yeah, I can get behind the idea of multiple universes.
Not right
you
now.
know, however you want to structure it. You know, my own idea is that every multiple universe is 1 second behind us in time, or technically 1 Planck second behind us in time, or 1 Planck second ahead of us in time. And so all of those are alternate timelines from that original divergent point.
Go ahead, throw it in.
It's a whole other thing. But that's my own theory. Don't worry about it. It's not on the test. The idea that you're going to say...
Suck it, Kona.
The idea that you're going to say, oh, this is the one timeline and there are no other timelines. Well, first off, fiction is based on fan fiction.
Yes.
All fiction at its core is fan fiction. Even the most original fiction is basically based on something else that someone was inspired by, either from real life or from fantasy. You know, the first story is the Song of Gilgamesh, and even that is just borrowing from all the local folk legends. And then the Bible borrows from that, and then other people borrow from the Bible, and it just keeps on going, and a massive story will go around until you get to J.K. Rowling.
We don't talk about her.
We don't talk about her. Well, you know, since she ceased to exist, you know, it's...
Yeah, she doesn't exist anymore. She's dead to us.
Off the gram.
So, speaking of controversial writers, and now they're pushing some Alan Moore thing.
Oh.
Well, you know, I know a lot about that project. It's not surprising that at this particular point in time they are doing just a blatant cash grab, because nobody I knew was interested in that book, and nobody I know still is everybody's still not interested.
Especially Alan Moore.
And not for
exactly.
Here's the thing. There's like, this is what's weird. So, okay, for those who don't know, they are publishing the original treatment, which is a text.
Treatment! Not even the story, no panels!
Yeah, the text document that you can get in a PDF right now online.
What, just some notes he scribbled down, they're going to print this?
On a napkin.
Right. It is typed. He did a formal presentation. He's a professional. As much as he likes to cultivate the image of I'm a crazy wizard ne'er-do-well, he is a consummate professional. He makes detailed typewritten notes. He knows what he's doing. If you actually do a deep dive into Alan Moore, you will see he is actually a real consummate professional writer who knows what the heck he's doing.
Lilith.
He's in the middle.
Lilith, you know DC's up to some bad things if Charlie Esser's defending Alan Moore.
I know.
I will defend the man when he does. I will defend the man on what he does good.
Once a decade when he does something good, I will bring it up.
I will say this: it's not personal between me and
I wanted to, but now I want to watch the world burn. Like, at this point, I don't care. I'm removing myself from the situation. I'm burning it down to the ground. Maybe it'll rise like a phoenix, and maybe it won't. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
The choice to publish this is literally for one purpose, which
Where's the continue button? We haven't used it in a while, Philip.
No. Well, it's not just money. It is so that
how dare you?
Reporters will contact Alan Moore. And we'll have Alan Moore say, what do you think of this? And he will make some sort of a raspberry sound.
I bloody hate it.
Yes, you know. Or he'll laugh at them and say, well, oh, you mean that thing I wrote 40 years ago? Okay, I guess they technically have the legal right to. It is a treatment I once wrote. And, you know, it's ridiculous. And he will say it is ridiculous that they are reaching for that, and they're being so thirsty, which is going to start a huge controversy, and they're hoping that's going to sell whatever the heck this freaking hardcover book, which I'm sure is $10.99 if it's a nickel.
I'm thirsty. $50.
I was going to say it's at least $29.99. Yeah.
I have no idea how much it is, but it's like all I know is I ain't buying it.
Oh, hey Lilith, remember we were saying you admired DC's restraint that they weren't doing those hardcovers like they did for Action 1000 and Detective 1000?
Oh, I have to eat my words.
Well, Kristen brought it to my attention. There's a Robin one coming out for the 80th anniversally. So.
Well, he deserves it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's a nice thing.
One copy,
that's a $30 book. Yeah, but yeah.
They'll sell 3. I'll get one. Phil will get one.
Kristen will get one. Yeah.
Okay.
But, there's $90 right there.
You know, and here's what I'll say: if that's your jam, enjoy it. But it just, like I say, my honest opinion is DC doesn't know who they're competing with.
They don't know anything.
They want to be more.
They know nothing.
They want to beat Marvel in the race, but they've shot themselves in the foot too much. They're never going to win that race. So you know what? Take the next decade.
They didn't just shoot themselves in the foot. They cut the leg off.
I know. I know.
They're in physical therapy now, learning how to walk.
I'm just saying, DC, ignore Marvel for the next decade. Do your best. Don't worry what Marvel's doing. Build yourself up on your own merits.
They can't do that though. They have that because they are owned by Warner's, which is owned by AT&T. They literally cannot do that.
Well, the suits
always going to be trying to chase with Disney.
The suits need to back off. Is what it is.
It won't happen.
What it is they're not in competition with Marvel. They're in as much competition with Marvel as they are with Dynamite and Archie and ID.
But we're taking AT&T is in direct competition with Disney, so they're trying to model every other part of their subsidiary.
Yeah. Okay, but here's the thing: Warner's is in competition with Disney. Marvel and AT&T aren't, or Marvel and DC aren't in competition. They're in competition within Warner's. So DC's in competition within all of Warner Media to show that they can create the best story.
Yeah, but when Warner heads come to DC and say, "Hey, guess what? You know, we want you
to match the movies."
No, not even that. They come to DC and say, "Hey, we want you to be doing Marvel comic numbers. The top 10 books of the month."
Let me just stop you right there. There's only a few books that Marvel sells that actually outsell DC titles. Like, let's just get that clear.
Yeah.
Very few.
Well,
and that's kind of the point.
And most of the top 10 is
Batman. I don't understand it, and it blows my mind that they don't understand the product they have.
Wait. It's not that a lot of DC books outsell Marvel. It's a lot of Batman books outsell Marvel.
Well, yeah, but the thing is this is
Superman too, although it's been down.
But this is the thing. DC can outsell Marvel's books every day of the week. It's fine.
Yeah.
And they actually should, because it says, hey, here are stories that we're creating that have that have a draw to the community and are positive, and they should be focusing on that. And then Warner should be looking at that catalog and saying, okay, we want to make DC movies.
That's my point.
Now they just need to learn how to adapt them the right way into movies.
Well, exactly. And maybe they should, and in that sense, Warner should look at what Disney or Marvel Studios did, which is, okay, so what did Marvel Studios do? Marvel Studios made an Iron Man
film. They put in the time. They put in the effort. They weren't afraid to fail because God knows.
Well, but, even beyond that, they took a risk on a lesser-known character with a lesser-known indie director, and they wrote who loved what the character could bring, and then said, okay, but do it on a freaking Lou Ferrigno budget. And they did it all on a fancy Lou Ferrigno budget. I mean, modern day Lou Ferrigno budget. But the idea of, they built out what they could with what they had. And like Tony Stark in that cave, cobbled together something that worked out great. And some of it did not do as well. Edward Norton. Some of the Thors,
Thor: The Dark
but
World.
They didn't.
Two of the Thors out of the 30.
They didn't say, "Oh, now we have to stop everything."
Yeah, they didn't change course when they hit two of those speed bumps. Yeah, they kept it. They stuck to the plan.
And,
yeah,
and that's the thing. And there's no reason. And this is what I've said: if Warner's, Disney, DC, whatever, wanted to just come out of the gate with Justice League, they could have, and they could have just built a world in which the Justice League existed in the same way that
was actually the original plan with no actual big name movie stars, and then they scrapped it. And as much as I love the Nolan trilogy, y'all know I'm a simp for Nolan, but it is his direct fault why the DCEU has sputtered the way that it did, starting with Man of Steel. Sorry, Tyler, that's not the Superman movie people needed to see nor wanted to see for the most part, and that is what it is.
See, here's what I'll say. You can say it was Nolan, but what it is maybe people took the wrong
success of his movies. Absolutely, they thought that people like grimdark. Let's make everything grimdark.
It works for Batman. It doesn't work for Superman.
Well,
and
but then
they found that out.
But the thing is, you can do grimdark. You could have done, okay, so grimdark is what people want. We want a superpowered grimdark story. Maybe let's not do Superman as our next one. Let's do Constantine.
They already know how people felt about Constantine. He wasn't at that particular. You have to go with the brands. It's a whole thing, but
then you know what? Then
I'm over it.
Then you can do Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman can do grimdark.
She can, but I like that she is the symbol of hope and not Superman in the DCEU.
I mean,
Patty Jenkins and Gal Gadot are holding the DCEU down, and it is what it is.
I mean,
I didn't think Wonder Woman, the original Wonder Woman movie from 2017, was as good as it could be, but it is the best DCEU movie for better or for worse, followed by Shazam, followed by Aquaman. You can fight me, but
and Aquaman, what?
I'm not going to fight any of that. That sounds about right.
That's about right. That's about right. Hey, that's right.
Aside from hydrogen gas, I liked Wonder Woman.
Oh,
and Wonder Woman 84 is such a shame that we're in this pandemic because she could have done better.
Yeah, but everyone's
question,
the whole everybody's movies took a hit. Black Widow, everybody.
Yeah, and as of August 12th, that movie's actually out in Belgium, and America's not getting it until October 12th. So
what?
Or is it October 2nd?
What, Wonder Woman?
Yeah, it actually came out Wednesday in Belgium. I don't know why, but it's out there
They have
somewhere
their COVID under control.
Yeah, because they're
in countries where people know how to wear masks.
Belgium's like as big as our thumb. So yeah, okay, fine.
Because they weren't because they weren't fancy men and they wore their masks for a couple months.
I'm not a fancy man.
Exactly. It's like we could handle. That's the thing. It's like right now in New Jersey, we're in this. In New Jersey, we've actually got it fairly well in control. New York has it fairly well under control. But we're in this weird spot because, okay, we're under control, but nobody else is.
Florida.
And, yeah, we could open up, but then it just takes one schmuck from Florida showing up and coughing on people, and all of a sudden we're all back in the mess. And that's...
October 2nd is when Wonder Woman 84 comes out.
Hey, that's better than November when we gotta wait for Black Widow.
I think if they released Wonder Woman on video on demand or even through HBO Max, it would probably surprise people. It would be another Trolls 2 situation where they might think, hey, maybe, and that would give people a reason to subscribe to HBO Max.
They should have did it. They should have did it now. That might have been. Do you think that might have been able to save DC Universe?
That definitely would have saved DC Universe. I think so many people are excited and curious, even though I do know how Steve Trevor comes back.
But, okay. Look, the reality is why. This is the thing: is why would you want to save DC Universe? It's like saying we can save the appendix. We don't have to remove it.
It was a good idea, and a lot of people.
It was an okay idea.
People signed up for DC Universe that first 3 months than they did for HBO Max. The trials were way shorter too, and people stuck around. I'm just saying. Yeah.
Reworking
of DC Universe.
Some retooling, an interface that doesn't freeze up every 2 seconds. They could have.
I've never had that problem. It's weird.
I haven't had it lately, but every so often, I'd be watching. No other platform I have does it. And if I ever had trouble with anything, it was DC Universe.
Look, the reality is DC Universe wanted to be two different things. They
wanted three different things, really.
Well, they wanted to be Marvel Unlimited, which I guess they did okay. Although, honestly, like I said, there was a lot of things that I was looking for I couldn't find. And there are a lot of things I can't necessarily find on Marvel Unlimited. No handbook, by the way. Very mad about that.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta buy the hard copy, baby. You gotta buy the hard copy. Sorry, them's the rules.
They got the Empire handbook at the stores right now, and I'm like,
seriously, we need
want that $50.
seriously, we need some handbooks. I want a special episode with Charlie and Will talking that handbook because Will loves that Marvel handbook also.
Don't tempt them. Make it happen, Philip.
Yeah, honestly,
the fake professor and the real professor.
What is that? That's now that you say that, because we have the Mercury, Mercury.
Oh yes.
Marathon coming up, and we're going to try and get in.
Actually,
by the way, we're not guaranteed a spot, and we're going to try and get in. We've got 2 different things we're going to try.
I signed this up. One
of which, yeah, but that doesn't mean we're getting in, Philip.
Yeah, there's no nepotism, Rob. There's no nepotism with him.
Yeah, the Master Doom is like the Doctor is all about conquest, not about loyalty. And but yeah, I mean, because when we're talking about what is our favorite books or runs, my go-to, of course, was Secret Wars 2.
Hey, save it for the podcast.
But you mention things like the Handbook or Marvel Saga.
Well, Lilith,
those are things I'm like, oh man, that is what comic books should be, just dense text.
Well, hey, Lilith, Rob said we should be able to use those marathon episodes for the podcast. So.
Oh, okay. Neat.
So yeah, if you want to talk Secret Wars 2, Charlie, yes, or
go ahead, throw it in.
Okay, well, please, I'll do.
You just like that drop. Any reason to use that drop? Let's talk about something happy. Let's talk about comic books, guys. Can you not talk about me enjoying it?
Should we talk about the best comic book that came out this week, Lilith?
Ooh.
Oh, okay. I'm assuming you mean Transformers and My Little Pony. I'm assuming
Transformers, My Little
Friendship is Mad.
Pony. No, Friendship in Disguise.
Yeah, thank you.
Which is an ominous title. Let's just get that out of the way right now.
Honestly, let's be honest. My Little Ponies is kind of a dystopian universe when you think about it, so it kind of makes sense for me.
Well, I mean, okay, first off, man, I wish I had my books because they've gotten misplaced. Who knows where they are? But
that's why you wrap them up and put them in a long
I had them in a stack on a thing, and then someone moved them so they could eat food.
You have children. I understand.
Oh, I have a wife too, and But
you were still breathing, so I assumed you were okay.
But okay, because it opens up with a great meta moment where a person is purchasing a comic book of I'm trying to remember the names of the hero and then the group of heroes that was in it, and he says, "Oh, this is the problem with the crossovers. Where does this even take place in the continuity?" And
they saw us nerds coming and they hit us in the gut.
And that was a lot of fun. And then, of course, we have the Chrysalis, the Queen of the Changelings, wants to bring more changelings in. So she reaches out with her magics to another universe to find a universe of changelings. And, of course, that takes her to the Transformers Cybertron, where the Decepticons are trying to access what the Autobots call a faulty, warp bridge. That there's a warp bridge, but what's his name? Not Soundwave, the one that turns into a laser gun. I forget his name.
Shockwave.
Shockwave, yeah, is saying no. This, this, because I always have to do the original '80s voices in my head.
Yes.
No, this is looking at a. This seems to be not opening a bridge across space, but a bridge across dimensions. I have to open it just for a second to get a reading. Of course, as soon as he does, a bunch of Autobots and Decepticons get pulled into the My Little Ponies universe, and as they are falling and having this danger, there's this great moment where Bumblebee and Optimus are falling. Which is weird because they're kind of like falling laterally, but don't think too much about it. They're falling laterally, and
it was a great panel. Leave it alone.
I know. The physics are funny, but then again, this is a story about transforming robots and talking ponies, so I'm going to give the physics a pass, even as I called out. But anyway, they are falling, and Optimus says, and kind of a moment for shippers all across the world. Optimus says, come to me, I'll if I can position my body under you, I can take the brunt and you'll be okay. And then, of course, Twilight Sparkle, Princess Twilight Sparkle, who is an alicorn now, don't forget, flies in and saves them both and says, I'm so happy to hear your statement of friendship, you know, because, of course, friendship, as you know, is magic. And, you know, makes the point that I don't think, and this is like the best part about it, is Optimus Prime is so 80s Optimus Prime. There's not a word he says that you cannot see completely coming out of his mouth. And, you know, she says, I don't think Chrysalis thought when she was bringing Changeling over that should get people as committed to the power of friendship as you. And then, of course, Optimus has to, you know, lay some truth on her about how, hey, not all of us are as dedicated to peace as us, and she may find allies amongst us. And that's amazing. There's also a great little Megatron and Chrysalis thing where she says, how will you serve me? And Megatron says, I was just about to ask you that same question. Yeah. Then we get our backup story, because Starscream goes off on his own, as Starscream will, goes to Manhattan, where, of course, he has already enslaved all of Manhattan. Which is a little
weird.
Get it,
Manhattan? Get it? Poor Philip.
Yes. Because he wants the raiments that only Rarity can make for him. And they are being quite polite about it, because he is quite destructive. But then RC shows up. And man, the RC Rarity, I don't know, my heart like grew 3 sizes reading about RC and Rarity. And I am just friendshipping these two all the heck. You know, they are Arcerity, as far as I'm concerned. And it is beautiful because, you know, it's kind of an awkwardly cute me. Because, you know, RC's kind of tomboyish, and Rarity, she's very glam. But, you know, they're both connecting in that way that only a female gendered robot and a glamorous unicorn can. And
don't question it. It just works. Trust us if you haven't read it.
It works on so many levels. And yeah, and Starscream, yes, is a fashionista. We know. I also love that Rarity shows that she is a warrior princess. She's a warrior, My Little Pony. I love that RC actually calls her, hello, My Little Pony.
Squeak. I know, I squeaked
it's
just
sweet.
A little bit.
But, you know, Rarity basically, you know, uses her telekinesis powers, because that's what unicorns have, which is also how, as an alicorn, Twilight Sparkle was able to save Optimus and Bumblebee from falling. Basically uses the cloth cape that Starscream was wearing, because why? Why? No capes. Uses the capes to gum up the engines of Starscream and the other 2 jets that he calls to help him. And that's cool. Oh, we also, and I forget her name, but there is a glider character. Well, actually, it's not a glider. She actually is a jet character in Among the Autobots, and I forget her name. Windblade, I think it is.
Yes.
She's clearly a VTOL aircraft, which is cool. I don't remember her, so maybe she was a later generation add-in, but she's cool. I like her. She's there. And yeah, that is IDW's Transformers Meet My Little Ponies Friendship in Disguise. Next week, it's Spike and Grimlock on Cybertron fighting for freedom wherever there's trouble. I cannot wait. It is on my pull list. That is a story for the ages.
I'm so glad they remembered Spike.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's interesting because they show Grimlock left at the end, but we don't see Spike in it. And then we see on the cover of next issue, Spike got pulled through on the other side. So we get Grimlock and Spike, and that is going to be amazing.
Sounds like a plan, Jan.
Poor Philip.
Little disappointed we don't see Applejack and we don't see Pinkie Pie on the cast list in the first of this. I am guessing they will show up later. If this is just a Rarity and Twilight Sparkle story, okay, but it needs me my Pinkie Pie.
I think that this is definitely like one of those weird, like, believe it or not, fan servicey things. Like, I've seen a lot of fan fiction for this, so for the fact that it happened, I was just like, I get they're both Hasbro and their toy lines, blah, 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 but like, people have been writing fanfic about this for a while, so I feel like that, don't worry. They know what the fans want, they're gonna give it to you.
Well, and that was, was Faust, right? Who made the My Little Pony Friendship is Magic series, right? I forget her first name. But she really cracked the code on the My Little Ponies. And so, because, My Little Ponies have existed as a property for years before this. And they weren't horrible, but I want to call her Rebecca Faust, but I don't think it's Rebecca because I'm thinking Rebecca Sugar. Yes, she really cracked the code on this. You get that real Friendship is Magic vibe, and yet don't lose any of the 80s Gen 1 Transformers vibe that really makes Transformers a delightful
you mean Lauren Faust. Okay.
Lauren Faust, thank you.
The showrunner. Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, showrunner means the person who makes up the stuff,
Well,
the
there's executive producer, which she is too, and there's also showrunner. They can be the same thing. A lot of the times not.
She was the one who pitched the original Friendship is Magic idea, and she's in charge of it. So she is the Truman of it. She is the buck stops here person. So
I'm just so proud of that. That show was the little show that could. It made it like 9 seasons, 222 episodes.
It's amazing, and honestly, it's like I'm waiting. Here's what I'll tell you: if like another season of Rick and Morty dropped, and another season of My Little Pony dropped, I'd watch My Little Pony first. I'm not gonna lie about it.
I'm kind of the opposite. Like I'm kind of over the My Little Pony show and the whole thing. The fandom soured me on it. I'm not gonna lie. That's kind of like the whole thing.
I don't know about any fandom. The only fandom that exists is in my head, Lilith. That's the only place where I read fan fiction is in my own head. Because to me, that's the best fan fiction, is the one that's already up in there. It's like all someone else can do is either have a story as good as mine, or tell a story that's good but not as good as what I would have done. I'm like Orson Welles in that effect. It's like, I like what you did with that movie. I would have done it a little better, but you know what? You did a fine job.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else read any other books this week?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. Phil wants to talk about like a DC book or a Marvel book.
Yeah. What, Lilith?
What do you got, Phil? Besides Batman's Grave, what else you got?
I know you're not reading it, Lilith, but I think you might have enjoyed this week's Flash 759. 759, sorry.
I just can't wait till this pandemic's over.
In 10 issues, she might have been interested, Phil.
10 issues,
I'll be in 10 more issues, you know what I'm saying?
I'll make you cover it on Legends, but no, I mean, Eobard's running around in Barry's body, and meanwhile...
What the hell does he think he is? Doc Ock or something?
I mean, well, Barry's trapped in the Speed Force. He gets to talk with...
What's new?
Well, he gets to talk
Why would I enjoy this, Philip?
Well, he gets to talk...
I've seen it on the TV show, and I've seen it better.
Well, he gets to talk with Jesse Quick and Max Mercury in there.
Oh, that's cool. So just so I know, does Eobard ever mention that he is really a superior Flash?
No.
Okay, that's too bad.
Not in so many words, but no. But then he runs over to Young Justice, tries to recruit Bart over to his side, pretending to be Barry. But then Bart sees right through it. He's like, "You're mean. Barry Allen's not mean." Because well, Bart then runs to Iris, Lilith,
y'all not boning, are you?
No, that's his grandma, dude.
No, I mean, you know what I'm saying. It's like, I got something to tell you about Barry. I hope you weren't boning.
Oh, yeah. But no, well, Bart's like, I didn't know if you'd remember me. And Iris is like, of course I remember you. I couldn't forget that hair. She literally says, she's like, of course I remember that hair.
Was she me?
I know. But, so, Wallace is there and Bart and, Iris gets between that, Eobard and the kids and, Iris is like, no, you tried this before with Wally, and you tried this on my wedding day. And Eobard's like, oh, you remember? He's like, you don't have to teach me history. He's like, I know how all this ends. He's like, but I can speed up all your deaths. That's what I'm good at. And who gets between her and Eobard, Lilith? What might get Lilith to pick this up? Jay.
Does he die?
I don't know. That's the last page. We're going to get an Eobard Jay Garrick fight. Classic.
keep me up to date. Maybe.
Classic Jay Garrick.
Maybe I will not pay for it, but read it.
Not none of these new fancy New 52 Jay Garricks. Original Jay Garrick.
Okay. We can save that for Legends of the Arrowverse, definitely.
All right.
In 5 years.
Sounds like a plan, Jan.
Couple balls down the golf.
Oh, yes. If you want to hear lots of Capes and Lunatics Easter eggs, go check out the latest episode of Into the Night and Moon Knight podcast.
The Moon Knight podcast.
The Moon Knight podcast.
Triplet like that.
Because it's the new episode of the serial and the debut of Lilith Hellfire's character. And Rob.
Be easy, be gentle.
And Rob.
I am not a serious actor.
And Rob and Molly Southgate are also on that episode, so.
You know, one of these days we might have to copy Ray.
What?
One of these days we may have to copy Ray and do something silly like that.
Oh, yeah.
Get Charlie to actually write something. I get it.
Well, first we got to take over DC Comics, remember?
Oh, God. Just burn it to the ground or fund our Kickstarter so we can save DC Comics.
Warner isn't going to sell it. You'd have an easier time trying to buy Archie Comics, Lilith.
No, sir. They're a very strong company.
No, I know that, but they're they're not owned by anyone who wouldn't sell them.
They actually have a plan, Jan.
Warner's is itching to sell DC Comics. That's what it feels like. It feels like they're trying to drive I don't know. It feels like they don't want to deal with it anymore.
Come on.
Drive the price down.
Come on, DC.
I'm not saying that, but I feel like they don't want to deal with it anymore.
Come on, DC.
I think if somebody gave them the right offer, Disney.
I was going to say, come on, Disney. You're our only hope.
Seriously.
Except Disney already owns a superhero line. Why would they need a second one?
Redundancy.
Look how much money they made on Endgame. Now, or imagine you do another
properly made Justice League.
Look how popular Civil War was, and that was just Marvel characters. Now imagine a Civil War Marvel versus DC.
Okay, but
$5 billion at the box office.
Yeah, I kind of think that. First off, there's a question of whether or not box office is even a thing that anyone is looking to over it. Disney is a company of futurists. How much they look at the idea of
box
office as a concept. I'm saying, hey, look, all I'm saying is they have recently looked like a futurist because they've made a lot of very smart
that's been their brand since the beginning with good old Walt, and I'm glad that they're still fooling some people.
I mean, they all want to act like they're too cool for school, but when you get into billions, they're all paying attention. Charlie, don't let them fool you. Billions, yeah, they're.
Oh, I'm not saying they're not paying attention. I'm just saying.
Disney's very good about their brand image. They're actually very aware,
and
I appreciate.
They're good at the long game. Unlike DC and Warner.
And the reality is that it comes to this idea. So if DC says, we'll sell you our property for $1 billion, I mean, obviously they'll say, well, for $1 billion? Sure, fine, whatever.
How much?
But if they say like $2 billion, which is like an exponentially larger amount, they're going to say, no, probably not.
Yeah, but
it's like, they just negotiate down to the $1 billion or whatever they really want it for.
Yeah,
that's how it goes.
I mean, how much do they spend for Marvel and Star Wars? And they've made their money back on those.
Yes, but that's the thing. They already have those markets.
Yeah.
So it's like, they bought Star Wars and Marvel because they said, we don't have enough to send to both.
We don't get out of the way and sit it on the shelf just for the sake of that.
Come on, Disney. We can finally have Batman.
Disney's not petty. Disney is not above being petty.
But the thing is that
and they can
Fox
afford to be
actually
petty
had properties of value.
Don't sit here and say DC doesn't have properties of value because they do. Just in merchandise alone, Batman outsells Spider-Man. If we're just talking about the T-shirt.
Okay. And what I'm saying is those property of value also become competitive properties to the properties they already own. So, I mean, to put it to you simply, the only reason to buy DC is to not have DC compete with Marvel.
There you go.
What I just said. They did that to sit certain things on the shelf.
They could faucet DC. So yes, they could do that.
Charlie, if they own both, do you think they care if Marvel beats DC or DC beats Marvel? No, the money's all going the same place.
Well, yeah, except that they've already invested.
That's not how brand divisions work, though, to be honest.
Yeah. They've already invested in all the Marvel properties, and to start to try and let's not forget, Disney bought Marvel after they proved they had value.
True.
You know, they didn't
Let's
buy.
not act like Justice League didn't make money. Let's not act like Man of Steel didn't make money. It's just not what they wanted, but they totally
It's not that they didn't make money. It's that they. Well, that's the thing.
It
It's
didn't
like
meet expectations.
In the
But
right-
if they-
In the right hands, DC is valuable.
yeah, but they're not in the right hands.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If Disney
It's
could,
like when Lisa Simpson says, "Mom, Dad has a thing that could be dangerous in the wrong hands, and he's holding it." It's like, yes, DC holds things that would be great if DC wasn't holding it, but DC is holding it, so they're not valuable.
I disagree. I'm just saying that they could be better. I'm not saying that
they could be better.
there's the potential for greatness there. Disney could buy the raw material.
Greatness. They're already great. There's a potential for excellence, and there's a difference. There's a big, grand canyon of difference between great.
Yes, but can we agree, Lilith? The last couple years, Warner has brought that brand down a little bit. So, I mean,
yeah,
I don't know, but on the same token, we have things like the Harley Quinn animated series. We have, other things. So I don't know.
And Harley Quinn is not bad.
make it all great again.
I'm tired of her, but I will give that animated series props, and I will say Harley Quinn is a comic book that will sell and sell and sell, no matter how many forms. What is there, like 3 Harley Quinn books out right now, different ones or something?
I know there's a bunch of miniseries, but I don't know. But I know after next week 75, they're rebooting with a new number 1. I know that.
Yeah, but here's what I'll say. Okay, let's do a counterfactual and say that the Harley Quinn movie did beat expectations.
That was never going to happen.
Science fiction.
Well, no, but it could have happened. And that's the thing.
No, it couldn't have, because people thought it was just female Suicide Squad, and Suicide Squad was garbage. So it was never going to beat expectations, period. You could have put Margot Robbie naked a la Wolf of Wall Street in that movie, still wouldn't have done good.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Well, but the thing is that the expectation, whatever it was, that's the thing. When you look at what Iron Man did, Iron Man beat expectations. Yes, because expectations were low, but also because it did well and told a good story. Harley Quinn, I don't feel told a good story. I don't think any of the DC films.
Got no arguments.
I don't think any of the DC films have told a good story yet.
I'll just stop you right there. Shazam absolutely did do a good story.
Okay, yeah.
Shazam. Wonder Woman did absolutely do a good story. Aquaman, outside the Aquaman character, absolutely did most of those characters justice.
Okay, look at those.
Okay. That's a different thing. Saying they did them justice and did good stories.
But no, look. Okay. Wait. So look at your top 3. They did follow the Iron Man pattern. The Wonder Woman movie was basically the Wonder Woman origin. Aquaman was basically going into and Shazam, they were going into their origins, just like Iron Man did. The rest of them, like
the only ones that are getting sequels.
like Batman v Superman, they tried to throw 20 million things into that and stir the pot.
Yeah, which is kind of silly because they could. Here's the thing: they could have done a Tim Burton and continued the Nolan verse without Nolan.
I think they actually literally couldn't do that. It was like a clause in his contract, though.
Well, So okay.
You take elements of it.
They couldn't cast Christian Bale. No, I'm technically a different Batman. I'm not the Batman. I'm just Batman. We don't stand on titles here. There could be hundreds of Batman.
Is Arrow?
Batman.
I'm just saying. They could have cast Christian, although I know Christian Bale didn't want to do it without Nolan, which is fine. But then they could have Val Kilmer did. They could have gotten somebody else to put on this suit. Another person.
It's not a female character. You can't just do that.
Yes, you can. You can't. They do it all the time. How many Darrens did we have?
George Clooney. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, George Clooney was a great Batman.
Nipples.
I mean, you can say what you will about the story, but as a Batman, he was fine. That's the thing. It's like none of these actors were bad at being Batman.
Wrong.
They were bad at
wrong.
I'm sorry. I thought George Clooney was a fantastic.
Actually wrong. Even George Clooney thinks he sucked as Batman. Come on, bro.
No, I think he thinks the film sucks. No. I think he thinks the film sucks. I don't think he thinks he sucked.
No, he literally said, I was a bad Batman. I do not know why they chose me for this role, but I wanted the money. Gimme. You got bat nipples.
Fair enough. But either way, so let's not do a Clooney. Let's get somebody good to be Batman.
Gimme.
You know, because it's not like there are people who couldn't do Batman. You know, friggin' what's his name? The other guy wanted to do Batman. Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, but get Matt Damon instead. He's a better actor. So they could have gotten Matt Damon to be Batman.
I love how he drinks Mandela right from the tap.
He writes the best stories. I'm just saying, you know what, Mandela in his
freshly brewed Mandela.
He loves to write, and that's what he does. He just writes counterfactuals into everybody's mind, and that is the beauty of his existence. I think of Mandela now as like a higher being who is, you know, in many ways the muse of counterfactual ideas.
See, this is why I only came with one topic tonight. I knew we only needed one topic.
Of course. And I just want to shout out Amazing Spider-Man this week.
Oh, yes!
Okay, they got me. Not gonna lie.
Charlie,
I was like, all right.
Charlie, did you read it?
No.
You miss Count Nefaria?
Count Nefaria? Who's Count Nefaria? What is Count Nefaria the person that's like, oh, I know you so deeply?
No, wasn't an Iron Man or Avengers villain? The old European dude who gave himself like superpowers.
I know who Count Nefaria is.
Yeah.
So what? Just Count Nefaria shows up? He's a Magia villain.
He shows up with Whirlwind and Grey Gargoyle.
Okay, so it's a supervillain.
Well, and Sin Eater shows up and shoots him with that shotgun, and basically doesn't kill them, but I guess makes them better people. Lilith.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting twist. Okay.
Count Nefaria
is actually Whitney Frost's father. In the last continuity I read.
Oh yeah, I think maybe.
Yeah, but he actually can't be killed because he's actually an ionic being like Wonder Man. He actually was like the first recipient of the ionic powers.
Yeah, but I mean, so like half the public is like, "Oh, this Sin Eater guy is great."
I am just floored by the artwork.
Oh yeah,
that artwork was so dynamic and kinetic.
Oh, and then Arkham Asylum. I mean, Ravencroft has a new director.
About time, to be honest. I really am looking forward to.
Why do people keep giving him responsibility? The new director of Ravencroft Institution, Charlie, is Norman Osborn.
Because he got that money, he can buy whatever he wants.
Are you trying to tell me that literally a lunatic has taken over the asylum?
Yes.
Exactly.
Do they make that joke at least once in the book?
Oh, I think. Not yet, doesn't Nora Winters say that? Because she was like questioning.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah. Oh no, she does say that. She's like,
okay,
because she says, I can't believe it. A week ago, you were like in a padded cell. Now they're letting the actual inmates run the asylum. Yes, they made that show.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, and speaking of Nora Winters, Lilith, do you care if Sin Eater kills her or does something on the last page? I don't.
Dr. Plot Resolver. Dr. Plot Resolver.
Hey, Sin Eater. I think Sin Eater's just getting rid of some of this dead weight we've accumulated over the last decade or so.
Is this Scourge all over again?
Scourge.
All over again,
Scourge. Are you Scourge?
But is he actually killing people, or is he just making?
Oh yes, now it's turned violent.
Well, yeah, he seems to be like doing something to these villains. I mean, he's not killing them, but yeah, like Nefaria's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry for everything I've done, and
he's giving him a freaking penance there.
Morbius.
Although Overdrive, who he was hunting last issue, he is still in a coma, so I don't know what he did to Overdrive.
Yeah.
He's gonna wake up a zombie, a slave zombie.
Oh, but they're doing something completely original, because this is issue 46. Did you see issue 50? I believe, where is it? 850, because legacy numbering 850 is coming up too.
Nope, shut up. Nope, no such thing.
It's on the cover. But they're doing something really original. The Green Goblin's coming back. They're going to fight.
Just in time for Gobble Month!
Probably.
Okay, hey, the Green Goblin, he's popular. So.
Gobble, gobble.
Maybe they'll get it right this time.
Gobble, gobble.
Who knows? It could be a different Green Goblin.
I mean, we've only had 4.
Technically 3 if you count the MC2.
I think we've had
5 if you count the MC2.
And if you count hobgoblins, we're probably up to like 12.
Oh,
Yeah. We don't count hobgoblins. That's a different thing. You know that, Philip. Shame on you.
Gobble, gobble.
But yeah, I think this was my favorite Marvel book this week for sure.
Ooh, I know. I mean, I enjoyed it.
And Marauders is still the best X book nobody is reading. I'm just saying, it's pirates and it's fun and it's a reprieve from whatever the hell's going on that impossible island.
I didn't read it, but I did hear some like spoilers. Did Kitty Pryde die, and did they like finally try to resurrect her like the rest of them?
Yeah, kind of, sort of. You got her. I was just like, that's cheap. But you know, it is what it is.
So what? So she's brainwashed now like the rest of them because they threw in the resurrection machine?
Maybe she is, maybe she isn't. Maybe
she's a plant.
Get it? An impossible
plants.
You mean a plant like an Impossible Burger or a plant like a spy?
Plant like Impossible.
Oh.
But like I said, yeah, I think Marauders is the best X book nobody's reading. It's unfortunate. I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I like pirates and that fun vibe, and they also have like a little bit of that espionage vibe as well. Like, it's just a refreshing reprieve from all the X book drama that's going on everywhere else. Maybe that's why I enjoy it so much.
Because you are a pirate.
Exactly.
I will say, as far as X books nobody's reading, I really like Empire X-Men.
Get out!
It's still good. I don't know what's not to love about it. It's got zombies, it's got plants, it's got mutants, it's got mutant zombies who blow things up and then eat a bunch of multiple men.
And old ladies.
First off, don't be hating on the old ladies. I love the old ladies.
I love Aunt May. Justice for Aunt May. Oh, wait, we already got it.
Yeah.
One more thing.
No, Justice for Aunt May is let her go on to her earthly reward and be with Ben again.
In hell? Yeah.
Mephisto?
Maybe. She can be Queen of Hell. I don't care. Let her have peace. Aunt May, Queen of Hell.
There you go. Send Aunt May to hell, let Peter have his marriage back. There you go. Sounds like a plan, Jan.
Honestly, to go along with that Uncle Ben's Mephisto, it was never about the kid. He's just sick of it. He just, no, I don't want that Harvey back with me.
Sounds like a plan, Jan.
It's gonna make me eat wheat cakes. Because you know when she dies, she's gonna be like, hello, Ben.
Whoa, that's pretty damn big.
You know, so there you go. There is your headcanon. It wasn't to stop the marriage. It just he needed to explain why he didn't want Aunt May dying.
I mean, she's a Black Widow. He had to fake his own death. It's all coming together now. The whole theory is coming together, guys.
It was a story 60 years in the making. Anyway.
I just do want to tell everybody that the Spider-Ham Apocalypse Now trade is out. So if you weren't reading it, it is now out. I highly recommend it. It is so much better than whatever your expectations may be.
Is that the one with the Beyonder in his time displacement watch? Is that the one I was reading?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Okay, I just wanted to make sure because, you know, I don't remember what the title of the arc was. I just know it was cool because it was Spider-Ham and Kangaroo, the Conqueror.
So yeah, it's got all five issues collected together. I was like, that's an odd number, but okay.
Nice.
That's how many they did. I don't know, man.
Hey, Lilith, I know you're protesting Joker War, but Detective Comics 1025 is just like a good little side issue with Batman and Batwoman.
Unless Punchline is in it, I don't care.
It's Batman and Batwoman fighting Joker goons, and if I could sell Charlie Esser on this in one thing, Jim Gordon isn't commissioner right now because he's been gassed by the Batman Who Laughs however long ago. Guess who the commissioner's been for a while now?
Is it Bullock?
Commissioner Harvey Bullock, yep.
Oh, Commissioner Bullock. Okay, well that's...
He made it!
He's running the show, baby.
Come on, Gotham. Poor GCPD.
I mean, okay, why not?
Hey, man, he's
got to be better than Harley Quinn Gordon.
Oh, yeah.
Which is just sad. Of all the things that are sad in the Harley Quinn series, Gordon is the saddest. And I just don't even know, aside from the fact that there is this real strong vibe I get that season 3 is going to be Ivy coming out of the shower, and it was all a dream, a horrible, horrible dream. But yeah, so unreliable narrator.
You don't leave Patrick Duffy out of this, damn it. We
No,
stand
I'm
Patrick Duffy in this house.
First off, that was brilliant.
That day.
That was a brilliant way to have him come back.
For those of you kids that may not know, there was a show on in the 80s called Dallas.
Thank you,
everyone knows who Patrick Duffy is. He was on Family Guy.
No, that is definitely too old for our demo. It's damn near too old for me. I only know that reference out of parody. So, just to put that in context.
It's so old, The Simpsons didn't do it first. They did it later.
Oh! Nice.
Anyway, so,
Poor Charlie. We've made him feel old. I'm sorry.
No, trust me, you guys don't make me feel old. I feel old from the moment I wake up till the moment I go to bed. Is only in sweet Sumness's embrace that I feel young again. Give your wife something.
Whoa.
Anywhoosies, but no.
I did have one book to shout out.
Yes.
Image. It's called Big Girls Number 1. It's by Jason Howard. You know, it's like, I don't know. It's like so much action, but there's actually still like character development. And oh my God, the artwork's just so good. And I'm like kind of here for this. It's issue number 1.
I did not realize that was a number 1. If I had realized it was a number 1, I might have picked it up.
Yeah, definitely. If you got the extra cash sometime soon, definitely pick it up. I think you'll like it. I didn't think I was going to like it. I just picked it up because it's a number 1.
When it's a real number 1, where it's a new series with a number 1.
Put new series on it?
Yeah, put it on the cover that says, hey kids, new story.
I'm surprised they don't put giant
pretty
number
good
1
about
on.
that, to be honest. So, if you're looking at an image book, you see what you get.
Because I'll be honest, there are so many times I go into a book and I see a cover I really like and a title I really like, and I'm like, oh, but it has a number 2 on it. And I'm like, do I really want to...
Charlie? I'll pick up a number 2 and try to find the number 1.
I'm not going back.
Charlie, yes, sir. Remember when you were a child? Did it stop you to pick up a book? Did you pick up a book even if it didn't have a number 1 on it? Yes, you did.
Well, first off, when I was a kid, no book had numbers 1. They all had
exactly.
numbers of 90
This is all a new phenomenon for Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's like Cloak and Dagger was a number 1.
They trapped you in the Matrix.
Speedball was a number 1. You only got a number 1 if it was a literal new character in a literal new book. Even Captain America started with issue 100. Okay, so let me take it back in time.
Unless you were born in 1941, yes.
Exactly. That's the thing. It's like, I never. I was an adult by the time I saw my first number 1. Actually, I think my very first number 1 issue was Cloak and Dagger number 1. Good book, by the way. Although ironically, I actually think the first Cloak and Dagger book I picked up was Cloak and Dagger number 2. So. Oh, no, actually, that might have been Cloak and Dagger number 1. That might have been Cloak and Dagger number 1 because I think their origin was actually in a Marvel team-up book.
Hey, Lilith, of course, did you see the announcement? Of course, Detective 1027 is going to be a big one because, 1,000 issues after Detective Comics 27.
What was Detective Comics number 27? First issue appearance of Robin?
Batman.
Oh. So it's 1,000 issues of Batman.
Yes.
So this is actually Batman 1000.
Yes, 1027 will be 1,000 issues of Batman and Detective, yes. See, they get 2 slices at the pie. They celebrated 1,000 issues just of Detective Comics, and now 1027 they get to do 1,000 issues of Batman.
So that means that when they do the Batman comic in a year, they can do Batman 1000. Because didn't Batman 1 come out like a year after Detective Comics 27?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, when that was the first appearance of Robin.
No.
No?
Detective 38 was the first appearance of Dick Grayson, Robin. Yes.
Okay, my bad. Either way. So
Kristen, look at our boy schooling the professor.
That's fine. Hey, I don't.
He's not a DC fan, so it don't count.
And next week,
honestly, so 1038 will be the Robin 1000.
And next week, Nightwing 73. If you haven't seen the headlines from Bleeding Cool, Rick Grayson gets his dick back.
Yeah.
Suck it, Kona.
And that's fine.
Okay, we're beefing with them because that was totally something I would say. I'm just saying. Stop using this podcast for your inspiration. I'm not afraid of a Twitter
So
beef.
I'm guessing he starts going by Dick again, which is...
He's going to get his full memory and personality and all the other...
Don't call me Rick! With a C, not even a K! Like, come on, bruh.
Call me Dick. Like the penis.
Thank you, Drop Gods.
But that's the thing. It's like, if he's been going by Rick, and he gets him... Oh, I used to like people to call me Dick. Wouldn't he think, why did I want people to call me Dick? That is...
Because it's from the 30s! And that's what you call a guy named Richard back then.
No, they called me Richard back then. It's honestly, I think it would be cooler if he actually just said, you know what, call me.
No, it should have been Dickie. They should have called him Little Dickie. And then we wouldn't have that terrible rapper.
I'm here for Dick.
They should have called him Richard. I think he should say, wow, I used to want people to call me Dick. Now I call myself
because
Rick.
He secretly is one. But he just
maybe you just say, I'm kind of an adult now.
Come on,
I'm here for Dick.
That boy. I'm just saying.
I'm here for Dick.
What did you call Dick Grayson, love?
I'm here for Dick.
Nobody tell Rob.
Anyway.
And I apologize. I didn't get the new drops loaded. So we could have heard tonight Rob Southgate saying, "Kick me in the pants,"
and ask no questions.
Yes. But anyway, so okay. So he's going to change his name. But I think he should go by Richard. I think he would say, I'm a grown man now. Why am I still, here's what I'm going to say. He should not want to be anywhere near the Teen Titans. He should say, I'm a 40-year-old man. I'm a super spy. I should embrace grown-up adventures.
Yeah, but all his friends grew up too.
Well, yeah, and so they should all do that too, I want Beast Man, not Beast Boy.
So what, Ben Grimm?
Party pooper.
So what? So what? Ben Grimm grows up and grows out of the Fantastic Four. Charlie Esser? Huh?
First off, Ben Grimm is a pilot. That's an adult
He's a
job.
begrudging member, first of all.
Astronaut is an adult job. I don't know where you're from. He's not swinging around on rooftops fighting crime. He is going to other planets to explore new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations.
Avoiding marriages, just saying.
No, he is happily married. Thank you very much. It's just awkward because
of his disability.
Of things related to physical
Yes,
situations.
Things.
Not
to say they can't more than once a year, but I'm just saying.
On his birthday.
I'm just saying they all got to. I'm just saying.
Anniversaries and birthdays.
I'm just saying I'm sure they're very happy and they found ways to work around it. Okay. I expect a grim baby soon.
Sounds like a plan, Jan.
On that note, can I get on that note?
Oh, okay.
On that note.
Little sobering up. We need to get out of here.
On that note.
All right. So, heard a lot of DC talk tonight. Some comics.
And don't worry, you don't have to hear any more of it.
Not from Lilith, anyway. So, but if you would like to weigh in on this, email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Call the voicemail, 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember to follow all the Capes and Lunatics stuff on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Find our Patreon where we talk all about Star Trek. Links to everything all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics. And remember to support the sponsors. Tweaked Audio. Get yourself some Tweaked Audio headphones. Hunt a Killer. Charlie?
Help Michelle Gray.
Yes.
Solve that cold case, man.
And use the code Southgate for all of that.
Yes, Southgate gets you a discount.
The man who likes to get kicked in the pants will tell you to do that. And go check out Pod Life, the book, now in digital and paperback, Volume 1, because Volume 2 is in the works. So go get on at the ground floor of Volume 1, because Volume 2 is coming. And when you buy that and more on Amazon, use the link for Southgate Media Group right down there in the show notes. Because, hey, this thing costs money, so help support this show, the Southgate Media Group Network, and the man who either doesn't wear pants or likes to get kicked in the pants, Rob Master Doom Southgate.
Make it rain, so says Master Doom.
Yeah. Lilith.
Oh my god, if you nerds don't at me, but you can follow me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire, or you can hang out on the gram with me at Lilith Hellfire 86 or at Lilith Hellfire 69.
Suck it.
So not you, Kona, you're safe this week.
Charlie, yes, sir.
Well, if you'd like to write to me in an old-fashioned email way, the way our Maz and Paz once did, do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. And, of course, follow me on Twitter as I live tweet. I don't know.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is over.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is done. So I don't know what I will ever live tweet again. But if you have an idea, tweet me at Charlie Esser. That's CHARLIE. ESSER. Look for the 2 E's right there in the middle. For what, Maz?
For quality. Bing!
Thank you, Maz.
Ooh.
Thank you for joining us for all this shop talk. But come back next week for another, only 98 more episodes until 269. For another week, we have been your Capes.
Ampersand.
Luna Capes. Gimme.
And remember, check out the newest episode of Into the Night, a Moon Knight podcast for Lilith Hellfire's big debut. You got that in episode 1 of Spider-Woman this week over there, so.
You know her, Mr. Fear.
That's right. You know what they always say.
Sounds like a plan. Have a good night.